therapy costs like $10 billion, and it is necessary in some cases because some people are legitimately psycho, cuckoo, monkey crazy, but there's a decent amount of self-introspection that one can do. Sorry, that was redundant. I know introspection includes the self part. You do introspection on yourself. Anyways, there's a certain amount of looking within that you can do to figure out pretty much on your own if there is something wrong with you. And I am talking mentally, I'm talking physically, and as we go on this nature walk today here in Granada, España, 2 days here, 2 days out here, and I'm already doing the lisp on the S in Spanish. Anyways, I was thinking about this today because I, maybe over the past month, have really been going through a bit of a bout of hypochondriacism. It feels like every day I'm like, okay, I have disease and it's gonna kill me in 1 week, and I haven't had like a big bout of this. Basically, hypochondriacism. I'm gonna place you down here next to this beautiful composite rock formation next to a wall from a house. I don't know when that was built. Okay, this is really steep. This is not ideal. This is not ideal podcasting territory. The last time I really thought I was gonna die from like disease was when I was in Indianapolis, in an abandoned mental hospital for funsies, for a hoot and a holler and a thrill, and a bat flew past my face. I've talked about this a billion times. Oh, I see the biggest spider over there. I'm gonna back up a little bit. A bat hit me in the face, and I immediately started spiraling because like rabies is like the scariest, like literally the scariest thing I can think of. I would rather have someone come into my house with a shotgun and blow both of my like legs off and walk around with little stumps for the rest of my life than fucking get rabies and die from it. Because the thing about rabies is like you get like bit and you could like maybe not even know. It could look like a tiny little, okay, I'm so far away so you can't really see it. It could be like that big of a mark, that big. That wasn't really a good way to like express a hole with my fingers. And then like a year later, you start foaming at the mouth and it's like 100% mortality rate. So yada yada yada. Like y'all fucking know. I was like so scared about it. I really thought like that was gonna be it for me. And it was like double scary because I was like, okay, well I potentially might not know. Like 6 months down the line, I could just like, oh sorry, I forgot you're over here. I was like 6 months down the line, I could just start foaming at the mouth, and then boom, I'm gonna like not eat, like water will be scary because I'll be rabid. Like the thought of being rabid, are you fucking kidding me? So like, when you have health anxiety and like hypochondriacism, you can kind of like make rationalizations that are not like you can do enough WebMDing to either put yourself really far in one direction of that's what makes you beautiful. Sorry, one direction of like thinking that you're actually safe and you're fine, or the other direction of like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. And usually it's this direction first, the I'm gonna die, and then you do enough Googling to realize that you're fine. That's not the case for everyone. That's not a universal experience. But I was able to like every time it came up, every time my rabies fear came up, that I had been exposed, I was like like I'd go on WebMD and I'd Google like okay, what is the incubation period for rabies, and it would be like 3 months. I'm really realizing this is like the third time I've talked about like my rabies scare. I'll wrap this shit up quick. And I'd be like, okay, well like it's been 3 months, so it's got to be fine. And then the health scare would come back and I'd be like, oh fuck, apparently it can like last in your system for 6 months. And be like, okay, like, and then but I finally had like the final justification in my head the other day where, so like apparently if rabies, okay, I promise like 15 seconds I'm gonna wrap this rabies shit up. Like the bat hit me in the face, and apparently the virus, the longest it could ever last in your head is 180 days, and it was like 180 days, so it was like a fucking birthday to me, baby. I was like, happy birthday! Like I almost wanted to like get a cake and like have icing on it that said like rabies free, like I'm rabies. So anyways, how to deal to circle back to the original thesis of this nature walk / pseudoscience projecting my health anxiety podcast episode on youtube.com and Spotify. You can do a decent amount of analyzing your surroundings. If you have the ability to be like objective about yourself, to be able to like look into your life, not from your own perspective, but like what your life and things in your life can look like from outside. It is one of the biggest talents and best tools you can have for living a happy, healthy life. Like, for example, if you are in like a let's take this into like a social. Also, let's keep walking. Let's change the scenery, baby. Let's put this in like a social context. So say you are in a little bit of a spat with a group of friends, and you really don't know if you're in the wrong. You don't know if you're the crazy one in that situation. It sounds so simple, and I know there's been like a billion like of those like pass it on like PSA-esque billboards that like say like empathy or like put yourself in someone else's shoes. But I feel like in this increasingly individualized world, we never really do put ourselves in other people's shoes. I actually realized like the other week, I'm like, damn, it's been a minute since I just like had a moment where I tried to like imagine how another person was feeling, which sounds so bad and so evil, and it is. That's something that shouldn't happen. That's a fucking gecko. That is a gecko. I don't know if y'all can see this because my iPad camera is shit. Oh my god, it's big. Get back here. I saw a snake in these paths the other day. But truly, it is like a very crucial thing to be able to say, hey, I feel this way in this situation, but am I in the wrong? And it's almost like a bit of like a, not unnatural, but it wouldn't be your first your response to like say like you're fighting in your friend group or you're fighting with a friend, because naturally I feel like everyone has a little bit of like narcissism. Like no one's like fucking Mother Teresa, so there's always gonna be a part of you that thinks like, okay, I am in the right, but you have to reverse that. I'm out of breath. Now, from like a, let's say just a psychological perspective, trying to figure out if you are crazy in a good way or crazy in a bad way. This is something that I've wondered about frequently because, you know, maybe I don't give off the most neurotypical vibes to the naked eye, to people that I have just met, and specifically people who see me online. I potentially look a little bit cuckoo bonkers, especially with some of my decisions that I make, like my most previous video that is now age restricted, which, by the way, let me get into a little tangent. So I made a video where I was like out in the wilderness, and yes, I'm really about that wilderness like fun time right now, because I have it. Okay, I was gonna say that and like rip this fucking plant out of the ground to like fidget with. Let me leave it. Let me leave it with Gaia. But I made a video and I was literally just going through the wilderness. I thought there was a snake. I did see a snake here. And like there was nothing, I thought there was nothing wrong with it. And then it got age restricted, which happens so rarely to me. But I was like, what do I do? Like, I was so confused. It turns out I said the F word 142 times in that video. I wasn't even conscious of that. Literally not even conscious. I need that rustling to stop behind me. And here's the thing. Okay, we're going in a completely different direction. We'll circle back. Don't you worry. To use email language. But like, to me, like, why would you age restrict a video for swear? Like, are we 12? This has something to do with the rise of conservatism in America, I think. That's what I'm blaming it on. Because, listen, okay, is fuck the prettiest word? No. And does it sometimes, is it sometimes used in a replacement for, like, more colorful language? Not colorful in, like, cursing, but, like, you know, there's a lot of words in the English language that we could use. And you know what? I will say, probably a lot of the time when I am cursing, it does replace what could be a beautiful poetic sentence. But at the same time, I feel silenced. I feel censored. Because, you know what? I like the gutturalness of that word. It's not, I don't even say it in a nasty way. Oh my gosh, I see wild leek right here. I kind of want to eat it. I was here eating wild leek out of the ground the other day, like just taking bites out of onions. It was freaking awesome. I don't say, like, I feel like I'm never like. There's certain swears I don't like. Like, I don't like saying bitch. Like, if it, like, that feels very. Ugh. But like, come on, a good old fuck. Are we kidding? Is this the 1400s? Is the Catholic Church running the country? No, this is a secular nation. But yeah, I got age restricted, so RIP to that. And when a video gets age restricted on YouTube, they like take it off the algorithm, so. But you know what? I did that for me, okay? I know it really does look like I'm just out here sacrificing my sanity for views. I would do this shit regardless. You don't even know that half of what I get up to that I don't put on YouTube, that I just do for fun. And that is my truth. Circling back. Okay. I remember what I was trying to talk about. So, like, obviously, there's very few people that are, like, completely neurotypical, like, as they come, straight edge. Those people do exist, but they're very rare. I feel like everyone at some point, guys, I'm gonna say something so controversial, and you know what? I might be the first person to say this, but mental health is real. If you can believe it or not. Everyone fucking struggles with something here and there. It's a fact of life. However, what was that? That looked like a goddamn hummingbird, but it was a bug. Get away from me. There are certain times where, you know, you can be crazy in a good way and crazy in a bad way. Crazy in like a harmless way, or crazy in a way that is causing harm to others. I have seen it before. I have been very close to people who have let their struggles directly... Oh, what a beautiful butterfly. Their struggles directly rain terror and hell on the people around them. And it's hard to, for me, okay, listen, I don't have everything figured out, freaking duh. And even like making this podcast episode really feels like I'm like preaching, like I'm some like mental health genius. I'm just sharing my truth, okay? But, I feel like I maybe try and take like a logical approach to most issues, scenarios, problems in my life. And I think sometimes it makes me like lack a little bit of understanding from people who maybe don't do that and are very like emotionally driven. Not that that's a bad thing. That could be a very beautiful thing. But I've seen from people who like they, as I said earlier, they lack sometimes the objectiveness to see how they're acting, which can like cascade into like a bunch of different problems. So mainly what I'm talking about today is for those people. If you've ever found yourself in this situation, and by the way, this isn't like you're not like a certain type of person who will do this. I feel like everyone kind of can get lost in their emotions to some extent at any point in their life. Even like the most logical people. I'm sure Einstein had a fucking crash out at some point. I don't know. Or yeah, I guess he was like a left brain. What is like, he was very logical. I don't know shit about Einstein. Anyways, if you ever find yourself in a situation where it's like you almost feel crazy because like you reacted in a way. Let me make a fake scenario. Let's say you're playing bingo with your friends at the bingo hall, as you would do on a Sunday, and maybe you're 70, but also maybe you're 25, because hey, I'm projecting and I want to go to a bingo hall with my friends. It's a dream of mine. But say you're at the bingo hall, you lose the bingo and you got so mad and you're so jealous that you take your friend who won the bingo sheet and you rip it up, and everyone is mad at you. They're like, wow, real mature. And you're like, what the hell? I hate you. And you get lost in your emotions. And you're so blinded by the jealousy that you didn't win the bingo and whatever like amazing prize it is. It's like a Nintendo Switch 2. Oh, speaking of jealousy and a Nintendo Switch 2, I have something to get into after. Well, let me wrap this up and then I'll get into it because I can feel the rage bubbling up. Just try and make like a little note in your brain. Like next time, like heed my words. And next time that you feel yourself wrapped up in like like a rage, like a blind rage, a crash out, if you will, remember and hold on to that feeling and try and like put a stop in your brain to maybe not like just like ignore it and like shove it under the rug, but just place a stop and think, okay, I'm so mad right now. I'm seething. Let me reanalyze the situation, okay? I did a boo-boo. I ripped up my friend's bingo sheet because they won and I was jealous and I'm mad at them, but they're mad at me and that's making me more mad at them. Think, was I in the right for ripping up that bingo sheet there? Oh, fuck. I think someone's coming down from the hill. I'm scared. I really thought I found like a hidden gem here. Well, anyways, think to yourself, was I in the right? And you know what? Sometimes you can actually make a pretty brilliant discovery that maybe you were in the right. You know, sometimes, a lot of the time, you can be in the wrong, but sometimes you're in the right. Okay, I'm like fucking saying word salad right now, but just some perspective, just taking a moment. I can't stress enough. It really is the goddamn PSAs that they put on billboards and bus stations that like, they sound so dumb, but when you really think about it, it actually is like life-saving, friendship-saving, relationship-saving advice, because like just taking a moment to think, to look around. I'm not saying you shouldn't feel emotions or feel anger. That's always important. But just to like note it. I'm not particularly like the type of person to write down notes I don't think I've ever journaled in my life, so take this all with a grain of salt, but like being able to be aware of your emotions is something that is so valuable in a crazy way. I think all the people that have like really, what is that? What the fuck is that? I don't know what that was, but I saw feet. Cool. All the people that have like really done me, maybe not dirty, but have like, ew, I hate saying crash out 3 times like a span of 5 minutes, but like crashed out on me. I kind of realized, okay, maybe they're not as in touch with like maybe their logical side or being able to be subjective. Objective, see, I don't even fucking know which is the right word, subjective or objective. So once again, like if you got a legitimate problem, yeah, you need to talk to a therapist. And no, this is not BetterHelp sponsored. This is anti-BetterHelp sponsored. It's fuck BetterHelp. We don't even want that sponsor on this podcast. Get the fuck out of here. Remember when BetterHelp was like, let's give 1 month free trial to the people who witness people get crushed to death in the Astroworld Music Festival? Like that, and people, and anyways, I was going to make a joke, be like, and people still took sponsorships. I think I literally did a sponsorship for them then. I was going to talk about hypocrisy today because I am up there. I am a hypocrite sometimes, but you know what? We're getting real and we're getting valid in this force today. Okay, back to Nintendo Switch 2. I know I just talked about emotional regulation, and you know what's not important? To bottle up emotions. So I'm going to release them here. My Switch broke like a year ago, and I don't know if it's like a planned obsolescence type beat, how like the giant beetle just flew right past my face. Like, you know how like phones literally just stop working after 4 years, like especially when the new one comes out and they like actually like degrade the battery and there's like a whole lawsuit. I don't know if it was like the same case with my Switch, but she was kind of old. I got it in 2020 and it's now 2025 and it like literally doesn't turn on anymore. And I did have it like in my backpack all the time and it would get like fucking bumped around and stuff, but like it doesn't even turn on. So I'm like, okay, I would like a new Switch, and I don't want to get like an old one. Like I was so excited for the Nintendo Switch 2. It was all I wanted. And I missed the goddamn pre-order by like 2 minutes, and everything was sold out. This was like a Lord Ticketmaster situation all over again. It drove me fucking insane. So I was like, okay, you know what? I rarely do this. I rarely pull my strings as an influencer to try and get like ahead. And I tried it. I was like, I asked my manager, I'm like, please, God, please. Like, I don't know. They've got to be doing something. Nintendo's got to be doing something for the goddamn Nintendo Switch 2, okay? We have a goddamn recession coming. We need to have people promoting buying video game consoles as much as like, I don't care what it takes. I will sell my fucking soul. I will bow down to capitalism and spit on like Karl Marx's entire fucking I was almost said discography. Hello, guys. Who's ready for Karl Marx 3? I hate, also, side tangent, I cannot stand when people, like, say, like, when, like, an artist is coming out with an album and they're like, here's, like, Addison Rae 1. They're like, AR1. What the fuck are you talking about? Why do we need goddamn abbreviations for it? Just say Addison Rae's first album. AR1! AR1! Shut up! Anyways. The Switch releases today. Hello. And I see, well, I'm in Spain, so like realistically wouldn't have worked out anyways, but I would have done something. Why the fuck is a tornado coming? I see from like 6, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different mutuals, friends that I have, creators, at the Nintendo New York goddamn like store headquarters, I don't know, at this like party event, and I see them and I'm like, okay, you know, maybe it's just like a party, like Switch 2, woo! And let me just say, I really just want it to so I can play Mario Kart World with my friends. Like a Grand Theft Auto Mario Kart is maybe the best idea they've had in so long. I don't care if that game is $100. Fuck it, I need it. So I see all these people on the Instagram store and they're like, woo! Like, Nintendo partner, hashtag Nintendo Switch 2. And then I see the final frame of their story, and it's them going to the checkout, and they're just giving away bags of fucking Nintendo Switches. Nintendo Switch dos. I was filled with an unnamed rage that I hadn't felt in so long. And I know I sound so entitled right now, and I am, because why the fuck should I have a Nintendo Switch 2 before anyone else? But it's like, I tried at least. I put myself in the rat race, and I tried to get that goddamn pre-order, and I couldn't even fucking do that. So, like, and I just know, and I know the next one's gonna be like $8 billion because of the tariffs, so that's awesome too. Glad I missed like the cheap ones. So, you know what? Oh, there's a crazy bug walking across the ground right now. It has like 8 billion legs. I'm gonna stand over here a little bit from that thing. I really don't know what's like poisonous or not in Spain, but I was just ripping wild leeks out of the ground. I literally saw this flower. It was like this purple flower, and I was like, what a pretty flower. And then I smelled it, and it smelled like onion, and I was like, that's interesting. Rip that thing out of the ground. There's a fucking onion on the bottom, baby. I'm a forager. Listen, I know it's like such a stereotype, the people that just become crunchy and like rediscover nature, and then all of a sudden like they're like head to toe Arc'teryx. Me saying that like I don't have a fucking Arc'teryx backpack, but I love it. Sorry, I get a lot of peace from being in the goddamn wilderness. Sorry, I did like being stranded on a fucking island in the ocean. What was that? I love it to an extent. I don't love bugs that like dive bomb me. I'm not a fan of those. You know what? If it's felt cathartic to no one who's listened to this and you're so confused, it's felt cathartic to me to talk about my woes. I was running through Ganado with my woes. Also got a little bit sad about Drake the other day, because I used to be such a fan, as like every brown Canadian man was at some point in their life. Like that really was our horse follow me. Okay, we're gonna move a little bit. Like he really was my fucking goat. I can't lie. I cannot lie. And it's just like not even on like a bandwagon, like probably A minor, but like it really did kind of ruin it, like the whole Drake experience for me. I can't even listen to his old shit anymore. Like I try and listen to Views, sounds like shit. All I can think of is like Millie Bobby Brown's face. Ew. So, anyways, I just want to take you on a nature walk, and let this be inspiration for you to go on a nature walk. And listen, I understand a lot of y'all live in like a suburban community, and all you have is like a drainage ditch. You can find nature everywhere, baby. Nature is all around us, even when it's pummeled with like concrete and there's a whole city over top of it. You can always find a little bit of it here and there. So I'll put you down here as I wrap this up. There's ants crawling all over here, so awesome. Hope you all have a good rest of your Thursday. I'm gonna go ponder some more. I hope at least 2 seconds of this made sense. Guys, get a look at this freaking view. Also, I should say, like, my videos are age restricted. Will it ever get age restricted? I don't know. I spent an hour editing out all of the swear words, so we'll pray. But you can check out all my videos on my Spotify. I have a Spotify now. Can you believe it? Like, okay, people were like posting my videos on Spotify before, but it wasn't me. So like, it was like really low quality. But now I got control of it. I literally pulled a Taylor's version, and I got control of my masters, and I put them on Spotify. So like, you can watch them, but like, I don't know why you would. I don't know. I heard some people were like, I have a screen time limit on YouTube, so like I can only watch shit on Spotify. That's a crazy loophole, but fuck it. You can go do it. It's your life. Okay, love you. Bye.